What's going on, traders? Welcome back to our channel, Trendline Forex here. It is Friday today, so we're gonna have a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's what we do every single week. And we're also looking at Euro, Dollar, and Gold on Mondays and Wednesdays. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure to do so. There's videos like this coming out every single week, okay? Now, this is the 1 hour time frame on Bitcoin, and as you can see, we've been trading sideways for a while, right? And we eventually managed to break above those previous highs. So really, there were a couple of scenarios that we were expecting for price to coming back to and retest that previous highs, and we wanted to see whether price will continue higher, gain some momentum to the upside to eventually break above that most recent high, or whether it will break below that structure right here and maybe form a deeper pullback. Now, this is what we shared in our free email newsletter, which you can subscribe for via the link below in this video. So check out the description of this video and make sure to subscribe to our email newsletter. Like I said, it's completely free, and I'm also sharing trading setups on multiple instruments every Monday. Now, as you can see, that was kind of what we were looking for this Monday, and so we wanted to see what will happen here. Now, if we go back to the chart, as you can see, we actually broke below that structure, and not just by a little bit, but instead of that, price gained some momentum to the downside. So a lot of bears pushed the market right here at that area to send price all the way down to that previous structure, previous lows, right? So we then wanted to see whether there's going to be a pullback in the retest, and as you can see, we've also got this piece of price action as well, which confirms our analysis. Now, I think short term we will probably continue slightly lower before we eventually go back to the upside. Obviously, long term, I think we're going to beat those highs and continue higher, but we need to find the best entry level if we want to buy in this market, right? And right now, price is pushing down, so there's no point for us to enter a long trade. But there's also no point or no confirmation to enter a short trade yet. Okay, now the analysis has confirmed, and we're expecting to see another bearish leg. But entering short right at the lows right here doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, I mean, we can easily see price pushing back to the upside, and then at some point we may see that continuation lower. Okay, so that's exactly what we want to wait for. Now, if you want to enter short, again, I would say there's a couple of scenarios. You either want to wait for a pullback, eventually price to retest that previous high or form a lower high, okay? And after you get an entry signal, we're looking for candles with rejection wicks to the upside. Okay, if you get something like this right here, then you can enter a short trade using less risk, okay, and expecting for price to continue lower. Now, if we are taking short trades, where are we going to place our targets? Well, I've got the Fibonacci retracement level right here on this move from swing low up here to swing high, and I'm looking at eventually a retest of the 61.8 Fib retracement level, which is right around 55,150, 160. To be more safer, I would say 55,200, right around here. Okay. So we do have some room to the downside, which means we can potentially find some trading opportunities. All right, and as soon as price retests that level of 61.8, okay, then I'm going to be looking for some sort of market reaction. Now, if you're looking at the 4-hour chart, we've also got this previous low and that structure that we're pretty much currently testing, right? So considering that we've got this price action, we've got some rejections before at that level around 57,000. This is also something a level that you can watch out for. All right, now if you are in a short trade and price test that level, if it gives you rejections to the downside and basically entry signals in the opposite direction, then that means you should probably at least reduce your risk by moving your stops to break even, or taking out your full position and eventually start looking for buying opportunities. Okay, but as of right now, short term, I think we will continue lower. So like I said, entry signals you can look for right here at previous minor highs, or if let's say we break below that, we come back for a retest, we see a nice rejection candle right here with a long wick to the upside, that will give you a signal for a sell position. Okay, now the next one is the Ethereum, and I think, you know, just looking at price action, you could have told that we're probably gonna in fact form a deeper pullback what we see right now. Okay, because this is the 1 hour chart, and right here we've got this previous high, and we managed to break above that, but just by a little bit. So we barely broken above that previous high. Okay, and then we started breaking below previous structure right here to the downside. Okay, so this whole thing is a signal that we're probably going to see a deeper pullback before we actually continue higher long term. All right, and so that's exactly what happened. We then had another impulse to the downside, followed by another impulse to the downside, and we've now broken below some major support level right here on the 1 hour chart. Okay, now what do we have? We have a pullback within this downside move. Okay, talking about this most recent move right here, and price is currently heading to the downside. Now we haven't seen another impulse to the downside, just like, you know, we see right here. Okay, so I'm still expecting that we may come back for a retest, or maybe even form a slightly higher high than this previous one, and then we can look for price to drop to the downside. So that's why, even if we're expecting for price to continue lower short term, entering right now with stops above this high is quite risky. I'm not saying you can't do that. Obviously you can, but it is quite risky. So you may enter a short trade here, then the market takes you out of this level and then gives you another confirmation to the downside. So that means you need to make another entry. So if you are going to be looking for aggressive entries like this, I would say reduce your risk, so you can, you know, eventually give it a try a second or third time even. All right, but yes, I'm still expecting to see price pushing down. I would say maybe even below this low right here. So depending on how price action moves, if let's say we start seeing that momentum coming in the market, we break below this low, then obviously we're going to be expecting for price to retest some you know, previous structure as well. So 2,200, 2,300, and then eventually we can look for signals in the opposite direction. But I think, you know, what my bias is we're probably going to continue you know, to the downside here short term. So that means we can look for some short trades. Okay, and again, if we're looking at Bitcoin, we want to see how price will react around the 38.2 here on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so right around here, if we get a good entry signal here, then we can expect that price may continue higher. All right, however, if we break below this level easily with a momentum, well, then we're probably going to see some lower values as well. Okay, and we're going to be looking at previous lows. So that's pretty much all. This is what I'm expecting here. You saw how you know, my analysis played out since Monday this week. So like I said, it's completely free. Subscribe to our email newsletter and join our free Telegram channel. All the links will be below this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to leave a comment on that video. I'll see you next time.